Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Sarcastic Barman, and welcome to the EiE Pub, where we're going to have a bit of pub chat, a bit of a laugh, a bit of a chat, and we cannot avoid talking about what the hell just went down on a channel I hope you all know, Agree to Disagree, a channel run by Conspiracy Cats and Creaky Blinder. Well worth a check out if you haven't. But we'll go around the table, see who's here, and I better start with the man who was just had to put up with an hour of mentalness, shall we say. AB Science, do you need a pint?
I've got one in my hand, but in fairness, I flushed away, I think, about 5 during that stream. I've only got 2 left.
Oh,
so it might end up being a whiskey. It's fucking weird because now I just realised, right? I jumped on this in the last minute, and Katz was a guest because I thought it was just a one-on-one thing on your channel, Barm. But now it looks like we've planned this as some kind of weird after show. But
it does look like it was planned as an after show, doesn't it? But it's not. This is our new weekly show, pub chat. So yeah, it just perfect timing for it, really. Getting you and Katz on here after that duck, dip, dive, dodge, and dodge, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, how to explain a primary school experiment in yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I went through 8 beers on my debate last night. So if you've only done 5, you're doing better than I did.
Oh shit! I just realised that my sound must be terrible because my mic is on the floor.
Well, I was going to say something, but I thought, well, he'll figure it out in a minute.
Well, I wouldn't have figured it out. I just looked down and I just went, hold on, where's my fucking mic on? But yeah, it's back up now.
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. Right, who else have we got with us tonight? Oh, we've got the matriarch of the bar, the lady you don't mess with. It's Krafty Keelah. Hopefully your sound's working.
I hope my sound is working. Hello.
Yay!
How is everyone?
Hey, all good here, Krafty. How are you doing, hun? What's going on in your world?
I'm working on a few videos still, and looking forward to the weekend, really. It's all been go here because the area opened back up since the Lager Lurgy, and we haven't stopped. So it's been ice cream making and showing the goats off and stuff like that. So we've had fun.
Nice. Got to love a bit of goat milk ice cream. There's actually a place down the road in Hale and Y, and that's all they sell is goat milk ice cream.
It's
awesome.
Delicious.
It is really yummy. Right, I better turn to the cellar monkey, the little man who's probably drinking all my whiskey down there. Tatty, you there?
On my way. Hold on. Got to find these empty bottles of whiskey somewhere. Aye. All right, troops, how's it going?
All good, Skyer. What's going on? What have we got to expect this weekend from your awesome skill work as the producer extraordinaire?
I would imagine the usual mix of mayhem, mischief, and absolute facepalmosity. Yeah, we'll go with that. Facepalmosity. Yeah,
that's a nice, good word. I like that. Facepalmosity. Well, you need that as a hashtag, I think.
But yeah, well, I think a perfect example tonight would have been that bloody debate that just went on there, man. I mean, wow. What a fantastic channel, by the way, I have to say. But we'll get to that in a wee minute. But Spurs? No, mate. Just no.
Love it. Thank you very much. And I better turn because we've got another producer extraordinaire sitting in the background who's just sitting there happily. I think he's on a Bacardi and Coke tonight. Bull, how are you? Oh, maybe not then.
I am fine. Sorry about that. I'm fine. Sorry about that. I had to jump on the mute button because I was over in Discord. Yeah, I am fine. I'm looking forward to the next pub chat too tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Nice.
So we've got that going on.
Yeah, for anyone who can't work out time, that's 3 hours after we finish, as long as I do maths right.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds good. And yeah, that should be a good show as well, with Bulls in charge of that one. So you'll see a whole new cast of people in the pub. So as long as they don't touch my private stash, I'll be quite happy. And then you're in charge of Friday night show as well. Can you give us any insight of tomorrow's show?
No, I never look at the videos till a few hours before we even start, so I really can't.
That's fine. I don't look at the Saturday ones until we actually go live.
I don't post the Saturday ones till we go live.
Oh, that is true as well. I was trying to make out that I just don't do anything, but I don't usually.
No, wouldn't you that anyway?
Sure, half the fun is when you actually get to see the genuine reaction for the first time.
It is. Oh, yes. You get that initial like, oh, God, this is crazy. It's the same way I do my videos. I don't tend to pre-watch them. Well, I'll watch the first minute, so it gives me an idea. But we better turn to the man who actually just host that dodgeball extravaganza. Agree to Disagree. You also know him as Baldy Catz or his better-looking twin brother, Conspiracy Catz. Are you there, Squire?
I am, mate. But to be fair, like, saying that Conspiracy Catz is slightly better looking than Baldy Catz is pretty much the same as saying that one dog turd smells just a little bit better than another one. So it's not a compliment. I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I fully recovered from last night's debacle. Then to have to watch that one, I'm like, oh God, I've got no brain cells left.
I thought you did a great job. I thought you did an absolutely fantastic job. I'm just, what do I need to click on? Is it the Shills video feed? There we are. Yeah, I thought you did an absolutely fantastic job last night, mate.
I think I did well considering how drunk I was by the end of it.
I think you probably had to get drunk by the end of it. It was special. I think you and AB Science have had some special ones lately, but they were both polite opponents, weren't they?
They were. That I can't say anything bad about the great debate or whatever his name was. I've completely forgotten. The great baller, whatever. He was very polite. He was pleasant to talk to. He sent me tagged me in a Twitter afterwards saying thank you for chatting. So good. Yeah, and fair play to Spurs on that one. He overtalked a little bit every so often, but everyone does every so often. So, but he wasn't rude or anything, shall we say? So yeah,
no, he wasn't.
You have to account. I probably interrupted someone there, but you have to account for the fact that we're doing this over Meets or Zoom and stuff like that, and there is just a delay, right?
Mm.
So. Yep. The conversation, it's a bit difficult to gauge when it's time to speak and stuff like that. So you do end up interrupting each other.
Yeah, it can be tricky. But we've introduced the sort of like 5-minute timeout card where if I know it wasn't used tonight, but did I mention it to you last night?
You did, and fair play. I didn't have to use it because the chat went back and forth, and I had a chance to answer. Not that he had actually any answers. You're just like I don't know, and bits. And I mean, I'll put my hands up, and there were words that, thankfully, telomeres and centimeres I forgot, and you gave me them, but I blame that on the booze.
All right, but I thought you did great. I thought you did an absolutely fantastic job. So we're looking forward to having you back on. And
that'd be cool.
I think the last debate I did, Boole was producer. Have you got over from that, Boole? Yeah, it was a hell of a do that.
Yeah, I did get over it. It was fun though. I think we're gonna have to do some more of those. Actually, Schrodinger's got me earmarked for another one here coming up. So, and I know it was MC Toon that did that one, but a lot of people are tapping me to do these debates. If you really want to, you can always pick me, or alternatively, Tatty might be willing to do some external stuff too. Nice. I don't know. You think, Tatty?
I always up for it, man. Just give us a shout as to times and that, and I'll let you know if I can do it or not. As long as I'm not working, I'm more than happy.
Tatty will do anything for a bottle of whiskey.
Yeah, I'm hoping we're trying to organise a live stream from my channel on Sunday because it'll be the first time since getting home from the hospital.
Oh,
that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Just have to set the time. Work out the time.
I still need to work out the time for my 1,000 sub special. I'm like,
Tatty also needs to work out the time for his live stream too.
He does.
Yeah.
More Tatty live streams.
13 o'clock.
That's fine. That's 1 in the afternoon.
That's like 1 p.m. Yeah, that's 1 p.m.
Yeah, but he's way too drunk at that point.
What, on the 31st of July, is it? 31st?
31st of February, I think it was.
So July.
Yeah, 31st of July, 1 p.m. Bless you, Tatty. Bless your cotton socks.
Buggers. you picking me so you do.
You do. But it's fun. You enjoy it. So, but
I'll do it for 2 bottles of whiskey. 2 bottles of whiskey.
Even have to buy them. He'll buy them himself, but
he will.
And
he never said they had
to buy a couple of bottles.
He never said they had to be full bottles.
Barman will just
try
there's
me.
1 shot left.
Yeah, that's
do the pirate thing. Do the pirate thing. There's 1 shot left.
Arr. Send him rum if we're doing pirates. But I was just going to ask Kat, what's your next debate on your channel for next week while we've got you here?
It is actually me debating next week. And I should be picking the brain of AB Science between now and then. There's a channel called Draft Science, and I think he's called AB out quite a few times. He's called me out a few times, and his whole shtick is that the physics is completely misunderstood. So he'll do debunking videos, but he'll do debunking videos on like Professor Jim Al-Khalili or Michio Kaku or Brian Cox. You know, he will try and debunk what's standard physics. So for some reason, he wants to debate me on the double slit experiment. I've no idea what he's going to bring, what he's going to say, but I'm sure AB, I think you know him a lot better than I do, don't you?
No, not really. I mean, the encounter we've had, he's done a couple of videos on me, but it started off with him responding to some stuff I did about Ken Wheeler, and he asked, like, he asked me if we could do a debate. Now, I don't do debates. I mean, what tonight was I still wouldn't class it as a debate. I mean, it was me trying to explain something whilst being interrupted, but he asked me for a debate, and I said, like, well, I don't do debates, but I'm willing to have a discussion. I do have some basic requirements, right? If you want me to engage in a philosophical discussion about the interpretation of quantum mechanics, right? Fine. Okay, that is up to debate, and that's okay. But I had to lay down the law and say, I need you to demonstrate first that you have an understanding of this.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm going to debate someone on something, there is a certain reading level that's required, and I do want, I don't want to waste my time, and I want to make sure that we can have a meaningful discussion rather than having to explain how to perform a year 6 science experiment.
Yeah. I think it possibly could be that way with this guy from some of the things I've heard him say. But the thing is, though, it's very difficult for the layperson, even though they can watch Draft Science, and they know that he's just making stuff up. It's very, very difficult for somebody to really put him straight unless they are a very high-level physics expert, like yourself. I'm certainly not. I only teach it at school. So even though I know he's talking absolute guff, it's going to be a challenge, to get my my physics up to scratch between now and next week.
Well, yeah, that was a thing because actually someone posted a comment just describing what his channel was about and just posted a link, and I just went to a random timestamp of the video that guy linked, and he actually said some stuff. It was about Ken Wheeler, and he kind of gave a pretty accurate description of why Ken Wheeler was absolutely full of shit or so on. But then I thought, okay, this guy knows. My first impressions was just from I think it was 10 or 15 seconds, was this guy knows what he's talking about. So I switched it off because I'm not interested in that, right? I don't watch the pop science channels. I don't watch channels like Sabine Hossenfelder or stuff like that. I occasionally watch some of the stuff that Jim Al-Khalili will come out because I like Jim. He's a nice guy, and I know him, and it's nice. But I generally don't watch that stuff because it's sort of I do find, because they talk about lots of their weird, wonderful ideas in science, right? talk about string theory or, high-level philosophical questions in physics, and it's just like, oh, I'm an experimentalist. I'm bored by that, right? And there's so much more exciting and interesting stuff and cool stuff that we have an understanding of, and I think that can be far more fun to communicate, and I just kind of miss that from those channels. But so at first I thought, okay, so he's just kind of sitting in his basement, he's talking stuff, and I switched off. I didn't really care. And then the same guy who linked that video said, yeah, he did a thing on you. And then I watched it in a little bit more depth, and I was like, yeah, you're an idiot.
It is pretty incredible, some of the stuff he said.
It's wonderful.
I've got a quick comment from chat from Pete Bremble. AB never going to debate most flat earthers if they need to have an understanding of science, which I think is very true. But yeah, a lot of them don't seem to have any understanding. I can't say I've got the best understanding of anything, especially compared to the two of you. We've got AB Science and Cats on here. It's like, okay. But one I think we could get in is Cats, have you bought a mask ready for going shopping tomorrow?
No. The wife asked me weeks ago, like, she's got loads in, and they're all like flowery. So I suppose I've got one if I need one, but they're all like, flowery ones.
I want to pick of that.
Flowers, bitch.
It just hit me today, though. If I want to go into a shop tomorrow to buy a mask, then like I can't go into a shop without a mask, and I can't get a mask unless I go into the shop. So yeah, I wonder. Yeah. Oh, my tea's here. Look at that, fantastic.
Oh, nice. But I'm really looking forward to going shopping tomorrow and seeing how many Karens or if we see anyone and taking some videos, because I think there's going to be a few. You expecting any by you?
Over my way?
Yeah. What are they like around you?
I am. I think we've got a problem in Blackburn with, obviously we've got a second spike at the minute, and there does seem to be how can I put it, an ignorance towards what's going on. But I'd imagine a lot of the flat earth. I mean, I can't imagine Dell putting a mask on and walking into a shop. I wonder how long it'll be before he's live streaming.
He would, man.
Is what? Sorry,
I think he would.
You think he will do?
I think Dell would. Yeah.
Very few folks in Scotland that don't. To be honest with you, mate, we've had it for a wee while, and also in the public transport and that. But
I think.
Dell might just get his wife to do it.
What, to go out for him?
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot will make a point and live stream them refusing to put on a mask and stuff like that. As soon as the camera's off, mask on, gloves in the shop.
Back to normality.
So much of Flat Earth and the YouTubers, it's a fucking performance art, isn't it?
Oh yeah. See, I even think Nathan Oakley would, because someone's going to call him out otherwise.
Yeah.
Bloody nut jobs. Oh, excuse me. But no, I definitely think there are going to be some nutters who are going out and go, oh, well, I can't breathe properly if I wear a mask. Oh, do you really think it's a good idea to come to an area where you could get something that might kill you because of bad breathing then? I'm just wondering what arguments we're going to hear off people.
If the mask were to protect themselves, I couldn't give a fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you don't want to wear a mask and the only person you're putting at risk, fine, fuck it. You know what? I'll cough over somewhere you can rub your face in it and do whatever. I don't give a shit, whatever your kink is. But the mask isn't there to protect yourself. It's to protect others.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Are you an asymptomatic carrier? Are you, or are you kind of one of those people where the symptoms are like extremely light? I know that the definition of light symptoms is a bit misleading, but you just got to ask the question, who are you protecting? If it were just protecting themselves, I couldn't give a shit, right? I'd say, oh, you're an idiot, but fuck it. But
Red's Rhetoric had a guy on that was one of those people that he says, oh, I've got COPD and blah, 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 blah. I'm thinking to myself, you're out in Colorado, number one. If you have COPD, the last place you should live is Colorado. right? Because altitude's a thing, and 2, if you've got COPD, like Barman said, you really shouldn't be going out in public and exposing yourself to corona.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you shouldn't do, and it depends on how severe your COPD is. But my aunt, she died of COPD a few years ago, but she had to go out with a little fucking oxygen tank with a little mask, and you know what? That's fine.
I did see that. I did see that on Red's channel. FTFE was giving him no space at all for his nonsense. He wasn't giving him an inch.
This
No.
is the 21st century. You don't need to go outside to get your shopping, right? If
FTFE was
at risk,
right. FTFE was just brutal. He really was.
Yeah, but as AB is saying, I mean, there is this wee thing called, I don't know if everyone that's watching this has heard it, but it's the internet, I think it is. And
Yeah, I mean, look,
Internet.
I live in a very, 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 very rural area. I mean, excruciatingly rural area, and all I have to do is phone up the next town with the big shopping center, and they will actually deliver your shopping to you. There's also community programs where neighbors are getting together for at-risk people in their community. All you have to do is a little bit of research, and you can find one of these groups, or you can ask, I don't know, Tesco's or wherever is nearest to you to actually deliver. You'll always find someone that's able to deliver.
and I would like to add to that, right? Because I worked for Sainsbury's for a while. The delivery drivers, those really distant, obscure deliveries, they fucking love it.
Yeah, our delivery drivers are awesome.
Yeah, but they're like those really distant ones because they can just have a
Right.
long drive and it's chill and it's relaxed. And the ones I've spoken to, there may be some others who might not like it, but everyone I've spoken to say they really enjoy the kind of rural runs, right? Because I'm in South Wales. And they really like the runs that go into like the small villages up in the valleys and stuff like that. They love it because
Probably
they're nice
'cause
rides and
They're not. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm lucky. I live out in the country already out from the city, and I love going for drives around here. It's not as nice as North Wales, but it's not bad. Miss mountains and beaches.
I think driving out there would be great, and then you would just be since you're paid hourly, like the further away, the longer the delivery takes. So it's a double bonus. You get to see all the pretty scenery, and you get to waste most of the time driving, less delivery.
No, I'm going to have to tell someone off in chat, though. Tusk has put North Wales equals Liverpool. Tusk, I'm very close to putting you in a timeout for that comment. Fuck you.
Yeah, that seems a mite inflammatory.
Yeah, I mean, the closest that people from Liverpool can get to Florida is real, and that is in North Wales, but that doesn't mean all of North Wales is Liverpool. It's only funny if you know it. But anyway, so we've covered a bit of the maths. We've talked about the craziness of debates, and fair play, we're halfway through the show already. But has anyone seen anything else stupid online at the moment? What's your stupidest video of the week that's worth talking about?
Actually, I do. And it's not a video because you were there, Barman, last night on Mr. Sensible's channel.
yes.
Kyle is a very, very religious flat earther of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, which has nothing to do, and fair play to him, he's one of the nicest lads I've ever spoken to, because I have been talking to him behind the scenes. But Kyle is one of these people who puts forward the idea that he has a degree in science in art. So it's a bachelor's of science in art, and he puts the emphasis on science, not art, because it was painting and drawing emphasis. That was a fun discussion.
Was it not scientific because some dictionary that you read somewhere just gave a definition of science as the systematic study of something, and he has systematically studied art, so therefore it's a science degree.
Pretty much. It was funny.
Oh,
It's
I was-
kind of something there.
I was kind of wondering how that actually worked in his feeble little mind because
yeah.
He actually has a video. He actually has a video up. I could share it. I won't, but I could share it. He actually has full disclosure. Dixie State University. His name in the degree of Bachelor of Science in Art, Painting and Drawing emphasis. And then what he does, even in that video, he puts the emphasis of Bachelor of Science. And then mentions the art like 2 minutes later. Yeah, it's funny. But he was on Mr. Sensibles last night doing my head in. He's a nice guy, don't get me wrong, but he triggered me. He definitely triggered me.
Yeah, I'm glad I got stuck in the waiting room for that one. Go on, Catch it. What have you seen stupid this week?
Well, you know what? I was just thinking that I've made, for me, I don't do like videos that often, and I've done 3 in like the past 2 weeks. So I've taken a break from YouTube this week. I've done the debate stuff, and I'm doing tonight, but I've taken a break from it, so I genuinely haven't watched anything. So that makes me like the most boring contributor to this conversation.
That's like the worst YouTuber ever. Not watching YouTube.
Yeah, I just haven't looked at it. So no, I've seen some stupid behaviour like in the real world, like walking around. But you know, that's because I live in Blackburn, and you see a lot of you see a lot of interesting characters on the street corners. But yeah, but no, I've not seen any interesting videos. So I'll have to get back on it tomorrow.
Not even any stupid tweets.
No, I've really been honestly keeping the distance this week.
Oh my word!
So what have I seen? Oh my god! I'd say I'm under pressure now. I'm gonna think of something. Give me 30 seconds, and I'll be back to you. I'll think of something.
I've got a question for Katz, if you would. How the hell did you keep your face straight when that guy said about the birds breathing out their wings?
Well, you know what? I had no idea what he was on about, but then I was just gobsmacked. But by that point, like I wasn't surprised from what else he said. But somebody in the chat said that's come from a video, quite a disgusting video on YouTube, where
the broken wing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Broken wing or cut off wing?
I think it was cut off. What was that about? Because
I didn't see it, but someone mentioned. I think it was actually Krafty that mentioned me when we were talking to Mr. Sensible's one, because we brought up, it was Kyle or whatever brought it up there as well, and I was like, the hell?
That was funny. That was just, I was like, no, just as long as you don't mention that, as long as you don't claim that birds breathe through their wings. And actually, I had this, oh no, don't do it. And he went there. He actually went there.
Yeah.
Christ.
The guy you did arrange for last night's debate, I was surprised there was a lot of bits he just had no answer for at all.
It was a little bit like he was such a lovely guy. I got in touch with him on Twitter. He was meant to come on a couple of weeks ago. He was being so polite when we were speaking to him. So like, great guy. But like, he did have 2 weeks notice. He went out specifically to buy a camera, you know, to do the show.
Yeah, fair play.
You know, so brilliant. But then he didn't even put a 8-minute introduction together for the I'm just going to trap up, stuff it. Yeah, he didn't have anything, but I think he just wanted a chat, which I think is what I sold it to him as. I think I said, I said we're civil. These things end up more as discussions and heated debates, but I didn't mean that means that you don't have to actually have an argument or know anything.
No, but
I've kind of noticed on that channel, there are some that will come absolutely completely prepared, and there will be others that are just, this is what I think, this is how I feel. Now, most of the time, it does end up in a really interesting discussion. But do you find that even when you're debating cats, anywhere, it's you come along with, I have a slide for everything, and it's very, very impressive to watch you debate. But then the opposite side has pretty much nothing prepared.
Are you saying that they were not prepared for that?
They were definitely not prepared for that.
That's still one of my favourite debates.
I was waiting for someone to say it.
Well, I was speaking to Barman, Sarcastic Barman, after the debate last night, and said the same thing, that it does take a lot of effort to prepare for a debate, and you research the guy and their arguments, and you watch what they're saying, and then it is frustrating that the other person then comes literally with nothing prepared, and no matter what evidence you bring, they just go no, and they don't even seem to want to acknowledge the significance of it. But that's the kind of people that we do. There wouldn't be flat earthers, or these types of science deniers if they were the type of people that spent more than 20 seconds thinking about evidence. Well,
I'm sure at one point, didn't he say that though dinosaurs weren't real? Because I showed the picture of the Triceratops, the change in the fossil. Yeah, but have we found those? Yeah, we found those fossils. I think we have 50 complete Triceratops skulls of the youngest ones. It's like, it was annoying.
Yeah, dinosaurs weren't real. Even Kent Hovind believes in dinosaurs.
Yeah, but he thinks they were on the Ark as well.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it was interesting.
But then again, on the other hand, right, Kent Hovind does believe in the caps lock fraud.
What's the caps lock fraud?
The caps lock fraud is because your official documents, your letters, your name is spelled in all caps. Therefore, you are a corporation in the eyes of the law and not an individual. And therefore, you are not subject to the law for some reason.
That's a very structured way of thinking about things.
I know. It's very elaborate. And I say, because the funny thing is my sister-in-law, my ex-sister-in-law, she fully buys into this shit, right? And I just asked her, kind of like, is that true? Because I'm from the Netherlands, and where absolutely it's in title case, it's not in all caps. And I asked, is that true? It's like, yeah, your birth certificate is in all caps. And it's like, are you sure about that? Yeah. I'll show you. And turns out that she'd never actually really looked at her own birth certificate because she produced it and said, it's not in all caps. Turns out that it is just a stylistic choice that depends on pretty much the office that issues it. Most offices will issue it in all caps, but not all.
That's worse then. So it's a conspiracy that doesn't even work at all because they're not all the same. That's just stupid. Even more stupid than the conspiracy to start with.
Yeah, it's just like, kind of like, because of that. It's like, yeah, but that's not true.
Oh my word. Well, I think we've covered that bit, but I just want to talk more about the stupidness of the debate tonight. Well, the chat. And I'll ask both of you. I'll start with Katz because it's fun to bug Katz when he's not prepared for things. What was your cringiest moment of the chat tonight between AB and Spurs?
The cringiest one. See, that's. I think the cringiest bit for me, and it was multiple times where AB would say something that's so sort of like beyond argument, like things fall at the same rate in a vacuum. We all know that's absolutely beyond argument. And just the wall of defiance and denial, that comes against that based on nothing. Spurs has never dropped anything in a vacuum, ever. He's probably never been near a vacuum chamber, but yet he's so adamant. I don't know. So it was just a constant denial. Every time AB said something obvious, the denial going in the opposite direction. It was pretty hard. What about yourself?
Oh, definitely when he was going, oh, well, we've seen the videos, but they're all NASA. Well, they're BBC, but they're NASA, and they're cut, and they're sped up. And I'm thinking, no, for fuck's sake. The fact one of the astronauts drop a bowling ball and a feather on the moon as well?
Yes.
Or am I imagining that? Yeah. So how would that work if it wasn't real? Did they set up the fake recordings of that in a fucking vacuum chamber as well?
Because they really dense feather.
It
was a really dense feather.
Love it. Oh, I've just got before I ask AB what his cringe was. Feel Jesus and you. How do you know it's a vacuum? No proof you can even make a vacuum.
It's Hoover on the side.
Phil Jesus and you, the closest you've ever been to a vacuum is a Hoover. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Oh, love it. AB, what was your cringiest bit that he said to you then?
Well, I'll start with the most infuriating bit, right? It's that I spent the best part of an hour, right? I would estimate it's about 45, 50 minutes trying to explain the Archimedes experiment and the variables that you can explore and manipulate. And just being constantly interrupted, and then him having the audacity of saying, you are just saying what it is. Well, so I was trying to give him step-by-step instructions on how to do an experiment where he can verify this stuff for himself. And he's saying, well, but you are just saying that. How can I verify that?
Yeah.
I've literally spent the whole fucking discussion trying to explain to you how this happens, right? And had you stopped interrupting me, that would have taken 5 minutes. And at 5 minutes, I could have told you everything about the different experiments you would need to do, different conditions you need to take. I could even tell you the algorithm and explain to you how to code the algorithm you need to do to perform the analysis and extrapolate get the trends out of your data.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that in 5 minutes, right? Yeah. But anyway, that was just infuriating. But I think a cringy, I don't know, but funniest one was when he said, well, I kind of made a point of like, well, I asked, what's your observation? I said, well, the declination of the sun appears to change as a function of latitude on the equinox. And he said, that's not an observation.
What? I must have stepped out for a fag at that point. What?
I mean, it was that point. I've been trying to be polite, and trying to be calm and stuff like that. But at that point, I couldn't. I had to laugh.
Oh, good God!
And I'm a bit annoyed that I just burst out in laughter there, and I had to stifle it because
I saw both of you every so often just bending over, laughing a little bit, and I was like, I love it.
Yeah, my eyes are a bit itchy now from because I have this thing that I do when someone is just being irritating. I grab the bridge of my nose right where it kind of meets your eye socket, between my thumb and my middle finger, and I grab it, I pinch it really hard. It's just this weird tick I've got, and my eyes are a bit itchy from that now.
Oh, I'll just ask the others, but while I'm asking the others, Katz, your next question is going to be, what's the stupidest thing you've heard a flat earther say? But I'll give you time to think of it, and I'll just say, yeah, ever. But you get a couple of minutes to think about it. We'll see if you can get a good one. Bull, did you get a chance to watch the debate we were talking about? And did you see something that's made you facepalm?
No, but Spurs in general makes me facepalm. I've had conversations with him over on Jim Panda's Discord server, and oh my gosh.
Oh, yes.
The guy, he's been spouting the same script for almost 3 years now, and it's like, dude, oh my God, it hurts my head to think about it.
Doesn't change, does it? Didn't he say that the pressure's not a thing and airplanes fly for reasons, even though there's no pressure? Crazy.
Yeah, something like that.
Barman, you and I will remember our drinking session.
Oh God. Yeah, me and AB actually met Spurs in Cardiff, and nothing that AB said to him, he just denied everything to you, didn't he?
It was just the process of explaining calibration. I don't want to know how much time I spent on just trying to explain to him what calibration is. And he just wouldn't accept that calibration is a thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he was very denial.
So he doesn't even understand why there's a tear button on a scale? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, he was very nuts, very nuts. Tatty, you watched the debate. I know you had it on. Did you see something that made you face palm and spill your whiskey?
Oh dear God, aye man. Just every time that AB had said something, the first thing that Spurs came out with, man, is his favourite opening line. Yeah, but everything he said was started with yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. Fucking hell, man! I was ready for punching the fucking telly at one point. But I have to say that the cringiest thing was just the absolute desperation of him to try and goad AB into saying the word gravity. It was just, it was really, really cringy, man. It was just like, everyone can see what you're trying to do and you think you're being so smug and snide by doing it. And no, a 3-year-old could work out what you're doing.
Yeah, that's
just
just
dog could work out what you're fucking doing.
That just reminded me of a bit when he asked AB, but is it a push or a pull? And you were just like, that's a stupid question.
Oh no, that was it.
For me, that was the cringiest. That was but does it push or pull? Is it push or pull? What does that matter?
AB says it's meaningless, but I don't get your meaning. I don't get your meaning. Because it's fucking meaningless, you twat.
Yeah, well,
does it matter? Your ass is still in the chair, Spurs. Just saying.
Yeah, but Spurs doesn't believe that things can be pulled. Everything is a push effect.
I don't know. His mouth was pulled quite easily by all accounts.
So when I pull him over the edge of a cliff.
Okay. But how are you pulling him? You're squeezing your hand around his neck, and then that's your pushing. I don't know how it works out in his head.
I'm not pulling his head. I'm pushing his body behind it. Okay, got it.
I mean,
you're pulling him off a cliff.
Reference frames, right? Because what is, how do you define push? How do you define pull? Right? Are you saying, is a pull? There's a force coming towards you. In which case, you are the inertial reference frame. So, if you are the inertial reference frame and you earn free fall, right? The Earth is not exerting a force on you. You are exerting a force on the Earth, and you are pulling it towards you.
Mm-hmm. Or
but also, what is there to say that? There's not a giant behind the Earth? That's pushing the Earth towards you. It is a completely meaningless point. Push and pull. You have to define a reference frame from which you're working. And then you have to start making some assumptions. And it's meaningless. Push or pull. Fuck it. Fuck off.
Oh, but if there were giants pushing and pulling the Earth, wouldn't that be magic?
I mean, in physics, we talk about directions. Is the force coming towards you or is it moving away from you? No one gives a fuck whether you're pulling or pushing. There's a force going in a direction. It doesn't matter.
What gives it its direction? That's one that always makes me laugh when things fall down, dropty and all that crap. Why downwards? And it never gives an answer. Go on then, Katz. Have you thought of something?
Oh yeah, no, I've thought of something. I think I put it in one of my recent videos. Actually, it was when the guy was delivering a flat Earth lecture in Blackpool. Do you remember? Well, he made a few comments. Which one do you think I'm going to say? Which one stood out for you?
Was that the guy? Was that the same guy that was arguing about the airplane going direct?
It was the same guy, and he said a few.
Yeah, but it was a different part because you did mention it in a recent video.
He said if you drive from Scotland to London, you wouldn't need any petrol. You just have to put on the brakes because you're going downhill.
Oh fuck my life!
What?
Fuck my life.
Yeah, I'm not.
Well,
Nice.
I heard that. That was hilarious when you said that.
Listen, if that was the case, man, I'm going to be full of Scots. You know, we like free shit.
I mean, you have to love their although it's stupidity, it's inventiveness, I suppose.
See,
They do have
I've
a great imagination.
No, it's not. It's not. I would argue that there's no imagination whatsoever.
Well, see, I've seen that same sort of argument made by someone on one of the Facebook groups and going, do you really think that the Nile River could flow X thousands of miles uphill? You're like, what the fuck do you mean uphill? Well, it's going north. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I think the stupidest thing I've ever heard a flat earther say, even after the whole the documentary came out, was actually today. I think it was a flat earther on my channel came on to one of my comment sections and started saying that Bob Nodell knows a lot.
Yeah, he
I
knows
mean,
where to
he
find,
does.
No, seriously. I reckon that Bob Nodell knows a lot. Specifically, he knows a lot about how to grift this audience out of 20 grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, he kept trying to get me to watch Globebuster videos, and I'm like, yeah, here's another one, and I gave him the 15 per hour drift. He didn't like it. He just shut up. Bob Nodell is a great man, apparently.
You never really get an answer for the 15 degree per hour drift, or the interesting thing with the light and the boards, which I asked someone about, and they're like, no. So what's it show then? And they just didn't reply after that.
Well,
My
it's
fate.
very clear what that shows. Jaren likes a glory hole.
Oh, love it. Love it.
I'm not going to kink shame, but he's into that, clearly.
Oh, Field Jesus and you. Bob proved the rotating heavens above. No, he didn't. He really didn't.
Bob Nodell's famous last word. Interesting.
Oh, it's a joke. The whole thing's a joke. But I've had a fun one all in my my comments recently because I did that Kate Shiminari crazy woman. And I get a lot of her nutters coming on going, oh, you're so horrible. Why have you got to swear at her? Why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. I says, well, let's go back to the video. What did I say that was wrong? And so far, I've had no replies to that, apart from one that says, oh, I'm not getting into details. You're just a rude person.
Well,
okay, then.
rude. Yeah, because I get the fuckwits, the Ken Wheeler fanboys who are creepy as hell. But they all come and they, with their whole spiel. And if I get bored of them, I just ask a simple question. Okay, smartass. In Ken Wheeler's framework, please can you explain to me why skyrmions form, domain wall transport, and geometric frustration? I just ask them simple. Okay, clearly they're not too simple to the layperson, but to someone who truly understands magnetism, because they will claim it's like, I didn't really understand this stuff until Ken explains that now, and now I've got a solid understanding of magnetism. And when I get bored of them, I just ask them that question, and not a single person has responded to me after that.
Nope.
It's just a fantastic fuck off. But otherwise, the Ken Wheeler fanboys are hilarious. I mean, I literally have had someone comment like, well, Ken Wheeler has a divine understanding of the universe and physics, and he uses words in a divine way, and they have different meanings to what you and I would understand of it normally. And then a load of insults. And I just kind of responded saying, well, you just put a load of insults after me going after your hero. You claim that he is divine and he has a divine understanding. You attribute divine qualities to him. And words he uses have a different meaning to what they would normally mean.
What?
You do understand that they are 3 symptoms of a cult. Right? Just take a moment and look at L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
Right.
AB, you would love my video. You would love my video on language.
There's so much about it. I have to have a look at that. But yeah, it's
So when I was doing language, obviously I'm going to go more in depth with the different types of language. But yeah, basically, without calling them a cult, I call them a cult, which is always fun. It's the kind of steps that you take into flat Earth from talking to flat earthers themselves. The steps that you take walking into flat Earth is the exact same steps you would take walking into a cult. It's incredible. It's incredible to see.
Well, I would say, I mean, I've had many discussions about this. I think a large part of flat Earth, it's an addictive cycle. I think there's definitely cult-like qualities to it. But then again, I think a lot of cult-like behaviors share qualities with addiction. So yeah, perhaps. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what's more, it's kind of like when you look at politics and you look at anarchism, and we won't get into politics, but when you look at anarchists or when you look at socialists or you look at communists and you say, you pick out one thing that you don't like about that system, and then they say, oh, well, I don't believe in that part of it. You know, it's the same thing if you point out a model for flat Earth. Well, I don't believe in that model for flat Earth. Same thing.
Well, Flat Earth doesn't have a model, though. But I know we're getting away from the comments bit, but I do want to ask the man with the voice for the comments. Katz, you must get some absolutely nuts comments. I know you do your comments shows once every so often and things like that, but because your channel's dwarfs most of ours. So what's your stupidest comment that comes to mind, or your stupidest argument you've had in comments, if you can?
Oh, see, I tend not to have arguments in comments. I might
discussion.
What if I get someone that I think is going to be a bit of a troll like that in the comments? I'll just ask them to. I'll just say, "Oh, could you explain that a bit more? Could you explain that a bit more?" And then when they've said what they want to say, I take those comments and I read them out. But the dumbest thing, Digital Plague. I had to block him from my chat. Oh no, actually. I suppose Steve Forster might have taken the title, but I'm pretty sure he's doing it on purpose now. When he said if space isn't a vacuum, then why do astronauts need to wear space? Sorry, he said if vacuum isn't a pressure, why do astronauts need to wear spacesuits? I think that's the most stupid thing I've ever heard. But Digital Plague come close. Who was someone who was on my channel when I very, very first started. I'm trying to think what he said. I think he said what did he say? The ISS was made out of tinfoil or something?
I always love that argument for the lunar lander.
Yeah, exactly. He was trying to compare the lunar lander to the ISS.
There's the thing is they hear rubbish like this and then they just don't question it, do they? They hear it from one flat earther and then that's it. It's done. Yeah.
Oh, they definitely don't relook at things again themselves. Just like, oh, this one said this, and it's so funny because if we could make a good proper shill account and slip it in with the flat earthers and give out this information, it'd be quite funny when you get it back on a debate or something like that, and you turn around and say, "No, you're completely wrong." Oh, how do you know? Because I made that argument up 6 months ago and slipped it in.
Negative exponents already did that.
Oh, I need information on that.
So JM was brought onto a debate with Reds about his rocket launch and the landing. Yeah. And it was Negative Exponents that had made up an account and was feeding all this information to like something like the feed was 10 seconds or 7 seconds short or something like that.
I watched that one. Oh god, that made me laugh so much.
I think the best part of that debate for me was when he was absolutely certain, JM was absolutely certain that the takeoff and landing was in the same position because Negative Exponents told him it was.
Yeah. Bull, you were trying to get in there, mate.
I was going to say the best part for me was when they found out it was Astronomy Live's in a different launch. It was the 20-second difference. He used someone else's footage.
For God's sake. How can they be that daft though? Because I think we all do the same. If you're checking out
they
sources, you
work
don't
hard,
just check one, do you?
No, they worked really hard to be that daft.
It is laziness, though, isn't it? And not wanting to go and put any work in for themselves. If somebody else says something, they've got such faith in the flat Earth friends. It's just a case of like, oh well, he's debunked this for me, so that argument must work. And there is no double checking it themselves. In my opinion,
I don't think they know how to half the time.
Well, true, yeah.
Phil G's and you. JM is suggestible, but he has the right idea. Go easy on him. No one should go easy on JM, truth, because he is nuts and he is stupid upon stupid. And I have no sympathy for anyone who can't spell, because I'm dyslexic. I can't spell.
There is questions over him committing fraud. I won't go into it, but there are questions over him defrauding his film people. Who is it? The Patreons to his film company. There's questions over that. So he's not simply suggestible. There is dangerous elements there.
Whatever happened with JM and that woman about making a film and she left and wanted half the money?
Oh, there's a lot to question there, but
we'll bring that up on another show then if it's a lot, because so we were going to run to 11. We're going to do an extra 30 minutes because everyone in the chat seems to be happy that we're all here, except for this weird person called Dick Dawson. I don't know who he is or what he's doing, but he's trolling in chat. If everyone could keep an eye on him, so that'd be fine. Anyone with the name Dick,
please, mods, don't try and time people out. Come on now. Although he has a spanner, so he's fine.
Yeah, we can't time him out, unfortunately. We'll have to talk to our head mod.
Hold on. He's got a spanner. Yeah, definitely need to talk to head mod about that, man.
Yeah, he has a spanner. He has a spanner. It's all good.
Trolling us again.
Yeah, Dick Dawson is.
I could fix the spanner issue. I like to time him out.
Time me out.
Either or.
No,
he's put it. Try and time me out. Try it.
Dick, you do realize you're kind of bringing this on yourself.
He would go mad.
Dick, I can unmod you very quickly and then time you out.
Dutch Heretic says Dick Spanner.
We love you, really. We really love you.
I will kill you all, and then Aimee just stir in the pot. Do I need to switch accounts? Oh, love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, brilliant.
So we've covered masks, we've covered stupidness on channels and stupid people. We've seen what's coming up the next few weeks. We should have really asked AB what he's been drinking tonight, because I bet he's almost out of beer.
Yeah, I've just run out of beer, and actually I I just kind of put a post in the internal chat saying be right back, because yeah, I've just had my 7th pint, and
nice.
I just had to switch to a nice 30-year-old single malt.
Oh yeah,
show off.
Hey, we're talking.
Rum for the win.
I'm drinking it from my Gary Graham glass, of course.
Nice.
Oh yes.
How else? It is a beautiful thing. I was thinking of something a bit more flashy, something a bit more funny, but just elegant. The avatar for my channel. I thought that was the right choice.
I love my my Barman glasses. They're awesome.
Sorry, Muscogean, I think is his name. Just put in the chat. Dick wants to speak to your manager.
Oh, Dick, you fucking Karen.
Oh,
Dick loves the sound of his own voice. I'm telling you.
Oh, there's an idea. Katz, you need to do some Karen videos, but do the commentary all in your Chatbox Travels voice.
Yes.
I was thinking of doing something like that, genuinely, because I'm not doing any flat Earth stuff on Baldy Catz anymore. So I was trying to think of other things I can do, and I think some Karen videos would be quite humorous. I think I'd enjoy making them.
Karen videos are fun to make,
but they have to be in the Chatbox Travels.
Oh God,
voice.
Yeah, I think you know what? You've given me an idea though. When I get back from my day out with the kids tomorrow, I'm going to start on one of those.
Nice.
And just in case you don't realize, on the Baldy Catz channel, Catz does have memberships open, so you can go there and actually join, which is always fun because you get behind the scenes, and sometimes he puts out videos of him trying to read out these comments and screwing up, which is always hilarious. I love those videos. I think I love those videos just as much as when you actually get them right.
Well, it's not often. I need to put more content out on Baldy Catz. Actually, I've concentrated too much on conspiracy cats this month, so I'll be back on it tomorrow. But definitely, you've made my decision now. I'm going to do a Karen video. So let's see if I can get one out by Sunday.
Oh, looking forward to that.
That's going to be funny as hell. I'm gonna, yeah.
We'll all look forward
So
to that.
you've heard it here first. Baldy Catz Karen videos coming up. Yay. I've actually got a question from chat that's been passed over to me from Brenda. A question for AB. How does AB think he could have done better?
Yeah.
The whole thing, if I just remembered the timeout thing.
The time I was yeah.
I could just explain it to him without him interrupting. We would have been done in 5 minutes. Could have moved on to something else. Because so a bit of behind the scenes context is that this was not intended to be a debate, right? I just got a message saying, you know, can we talk about science in general and maybe a bit of flat Earth? That's it. And I thought, well, you're coming at the right time. I've got a bit of free time in the evenings coming up, so why not? And that's it.
Man.
I think we all enjoyed tonight, although I kind of... It's a weird thing when Agree to Disagree is on, because I'm listening to the debate, and then I'm trying very hard to remember which links that I'm posting. I can't do both.
You do a great job. I've got to say, you're a very, very active moderator. You do a fantastic job with that. So, yeah, big credit to you for that.
Krafty's an absolute star, man.
Oh, she is.
I have fun with it.
Oh, I've just got to address something in chat. Once again, feel Jesus in you. Flat Earth is winning. We are gaining political traction, and I'm getting people to listen to me in the street. It only took one X-Wing to take down the Death Star. I will ask you, feel Jesus in you. When you looked at the trench on the Death Star, was that round or flat? And are you a Jedi? Because if you're not a Jedi, it doesn't fucking matter. Good God. But I don't get how people who have watched, like, feel Jesus in you, fair play, he seems relatively normal on most things. But he comes to our videos. He sees all the stuff he does. To still think the Earth is flat is just... Oh, his head must be up his arse half the time. Very sorry, but how?
Yeah, feel Jesus in you is our number one flat earther
Contributor.
supporter. He is a flat earther and he does support us all the time. He's in pretty much all of the live streams.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Well done. I have to say.
Well done.
Yeah.
It's not a name I've seen before. I thought it was joking with one of the posts he made in the chat before, but all seems to make sense now. Well, it's nice to meet you, Field Jesus.
Fair play. He's quite normal. At least he understands things like COVID is real and things like that. But I can't remember. I think he did say he was a young Earth creationist, so I'm sure he mentioned the flood somewhere. He's put something here. Field Jesus in you to Baldy Catz. The fact that Twistronics can change what see and make fake images by changing photons. So I read that completely bad, but he did actually put what they are clearly manipulating light. They admit that they can do. Oh yeah, he thinks because they changed one photon, didn't they?
Feel Jesus in you. If you keep putting that in the chat, and that's like your 7th time to do it. If you keep putting it in the chat, I'm just going to delete it from now on because we've seen it. Move on.
With the same misspelling, I might point out. Because I Googled twist ionics. Guess what? It's not a thing. It's twistronics. And it has to do with the twist of an atom manipulating light. They manipulated one photon, dude. And they just managed to do it.
Yeah. No, it's all right. It's all right. But just don't keep doing it, okay? Don't keep posting in the chat the same thing. It's not cool. We do see it and we will get to it when we have time, but I'm just saying, just don't spam the chat. It's not cool. Otherwise, you're cool. You're fine. Continue. I'm going to shut up now.
Come on, let's twist again.
I'm curious. How did they twist an atom? What did they do?
No, when they they're talking about the relative twist of quantum twist is what he's talking about. The quantum spin and twist.
Yeah,
basically.
so from my understanding, it basically comes from. So you've got graphene, right? It's got very specific. It's got that very specific pattern. And basically what they took was they took 2 layers of graphene and then just slightly rotated one layer so they're not quite aligned, and that may result in some interesting electrical properties because remember, Katz, you've got you've got a graphene sheet. Each carbon atom in there has got 3 bonds, right? And that means it's got one little atom running free, and that gives graphene or graphite its electrical conductivity, right? Because there's an electron that's free to move around. So they took 2 sheets of graphene and it twisted one slightly so the crystal structure was a little bit misaligned between the sheets, and that should give some interesting electrical properties. That's all I know about it, but
basically they're able to transition it from a insulator all the way through semiconductor to superconductor. So it's fairly fascinating.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the superconductivity. Did they detect superconductivity?
I believe so.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. An angle of 1.1 degrees relative to each other from a Moiré pattern at a temperature of 1.7 Kelvin. I am not 100% sure if that. I'm not a superconductors guy, but that's a very low temperature, and
that's fucking cold, is what that is.
Yeah. That's a very low temperature. It's you say it's fucking cold. It's quite warm compared to some of the stuff that we do, but it's
1.7 Kelvin is warm compared to some other semiconductors. Yeah.
Yeah, to some of the stuff we do, it's a bit warm.
That'll be about minus 270.
Yeah, 1.7 Kelvin. A lot of stuff is superconducting at that point.
Yes.
The question is though, can anyone actually remember what Field Jesus' new argument was this about? Because they can manipulate the very light we see on a huge scale, and they can make you see anything. And I'm trying to remember if he thinks that the whole world is being altered, the moon and stuff like that. I can't actually remember. It's been that many weeks. Ooh. What his original argument was on this bending and twisting and playing with light.
With respect to Field Jesus and you, I don't really think it matters because it's Field Jesus and you. I know that seems cruel, but.
It's a fundamental misunderstanding of the point of it is what he's got.
But yeah, just to give you an idea, right? Diamond is a superconductor below 4 Kelvin, right? And that's a close buddy of graphene.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, a lot of stuff is superconducting at low temperatures.
AB, why would diamond superconduct at higher temperature? I'm just generally interested. Why would it superconduct at higher temperature than graphene when it doesn't have that free electron?
You know, to be honest, my mate, who has just been named the director of research in condensed matter physics in our department, he does all the diamond stuff, and he will shout about how diamond is a wonderful semiconductor, but only under very specific conditions and as a superconductor and stuff like that. And to be honest, I take the piss out of him all the time. It's just fucking ridiculous, right? It's like, yeah, okay, it's got those properties. That is fine. That's cool, but is it practical? Is it really that great? I'm sure, it's interesting for pure applied applications, and we are working on some grants together for some really interesting stuff. I really cannot talk about, but Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I don't fully understand superconductivity either. I know there's a disappearance of resistance. I know the kind of basics of it, but I haven't spent a lot of time looking into it. Yeah, it's just one of those. It's one of those subjects like magnetism. It's just something you kind of skirt over in your undergraduate studies. These are your basics. It's right. An undergraduate physics degree, it doesn't give you the detail of everything. It gives you the bare bones. All right. You cannot be expected to do serious research just on the basis of the knowledge that you've developed in your undergraduate studies.
Yikes.
Nice. Right, I've got 2 bits from the chat. I've got one from Basic Trigonometry. It says, damn it, I was hoping AB was going to say Department of Really Cold Stuff, which I agree with you there, Basic. I did hope that was going to be there. And Daybreaker Flint for 2 local currency, whatever CHF is. Hey, AB, explain how they found graphene. Team Drac.
Yeah, so this is that's really cool because there's this guy called Andre Geim. I can't remember his first name. Geim. Anyway, I think it's Andre Geim. I just need to Google that now. Andre Geim. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is Andre Geim. So most people will know him for what he won the Ig Nobel Prize for. And that is taking a frog and putting in an MRI scanner. And it starts levitating, right? Well, have you not seen the video?
I don't think I've seen that one because a frog levitating.
You have the capacity to show video.
Tats?
Yeah?
Do we have the capacity to show?
Link?
I think that could be a possibility if you can drop me a link.
Yeah, I'll just send you.
Drop me a DM Discord, man.
Yeah. I'll just send it across to you. Right. So, just a bit of context, right? Andre Geim, he's a bit of a legendary character. So the Ig Nobel Prizes. I'm just going to talk whilst I send you this. The Ig Nobel Prizes. It's a serious science award, right? People kind of dismiss it because a lot of it appears to be quite silly, but it's a serious science award for research that, on the surface, looks silly, and their tagline is "Things that make you go ha ha, but then make you go hmm." Because it has to be stuff that on the surface looks silly, but actually reveals a deeper truth and actually gives us a deeper understanding of something. So one of them is you may have this image of a runner with long hair that is tied up in a ponytail. And the way the ponytail moves around as they are running reveals some interesting physics, and developing an understanding of that is useful. But it's the same thing about this frog in a small bore MRI scanner where the MRI was turned on, and hopefully that video will be popping up soon. Are you ready to go, Tatty?
Yep, it will be here in 2 wee seconds. I've got another video that I'm needing to be shown as well, so I'm just making sure I don't copy over that one. So give me 3 wee seconds, and
okay, so
wrong
whilst
one.
you're doing that, I'll talk a little bit more about the context until you tell me when you're ready. All right. So, so what happens? Like at Manchester University, where Andre Geim works, they have a thing called 20% time, and essentially the idea is that from Monday to Thursday, you work on on what your grant tells you what you're supposed to be working on, right? Because in science we have a grants. It's quite a complex structure of how we're supposed to do stuff, because we have financial agreements and stuff coming left, right, and center, and we do research. But the idea at Manchester is that you block off 20% of your time. I don't know if that's still the case, but the university will pay you for that 20% at a time. And you do stuff. You do pure curiosity driven research where you just go, I wonder what happens if I press that button. You know, it's just pure silly stuff. And that's how they came up with this frog. You ready?
Yep.
Yep, go for it.
See this frog.
Oh, hold on 2 seconds. We've got to do that wee bit. Yep.
Okay.
And there we go. And I'll just get the sound on for us.
Can you look at me? Because I like to show this is the magnet, which is beyond. If you have a look here, this is.
There's the frog.
Be quiet.
Oh.
That is cool.
That's awesome.
Don't walk, don't touch anything, please.
Don't touch it. What? How's that a cricket?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but they can fly anyway. He's cheating.
The cricket's a bit more confused about this whole situation.
Yeah, the frog didn't seem to actually care for a minute, did it? It's just like, yeah, whatever.
Just fun.
That's so cool. Right, electric universe proved. We all fall down because of magnets and electric.
I'm sorry, I think that last one was planted there.
I love that. Roger Rabbit, frogs in space.
Yeah, we can end the video, I think.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
There you go.
So what happens here is that most biological organisms are mostly water, and water is diamagnetic. And what that means is that the magnetization, or basically because you've got little dipoles, right? You remember your your bar magnets. It's got a north pole and a south pole. Now, pretty much every atom, is slightly like a bar magnet, right? It's got a north pole and a south pole, but it's a little bit more complicated. But without going into the quantum mechanics of it, you have paramagnetic materials where that little bar magnet like thing likes to align with the magnetic field, and you have diamagnetic materials which tend to go opposite to that field. Now, water is diamagnetic, and we are mostly water, and so we try to oppose that magnetic field, but that creates, wherever you've got the magnetic field coming in, the direction in which it's coming in, the water aligns itself to produce a magnetic field that goes in the opposite direction. So you slightly have a repulsive force, and that creates that frog from levitating. We were talking about graphene, weren't we?
We were. I was going to say, you can have
right. Okay. But that is what he won his Ig Nobel Prize for. Now, he won his Nobel Prize for the isolation of graphene. And that's where I go back to those 20%, that 20% time at Manchester, because basically we kind of theorized this material and it's been synthesized, but it was really difficult to make, and people were really struggling on making it. And he was just thinking about how to isolate this stuff, and quite literally, what Andre Geim did was take a bit of paper on his desk and hold the pencil on the side and just try to color in as much of the paper as possible, right? Just your graphite pencil. And then you have all that stuff which sits on the paper, and then just took some sticky tape and he stuck it on and over what he colored in, and then pulled it off, and he noticed that, you know, you've got that stuff, and this is not purely serendipitous. He kind of had a good idea that this may work, right? And then there was some of that lead from the pencil stuck to it, and then he started bending the sticky tape quite a bit, up and down. You started rolling it up and down, up until a point where he thought, maybe I've got a single layer of atoms. And they investigated that, and then it turns out that they had this beautiful single layer of carbon atoms arranged like graphene.
Nice.
And that's what he won the Nobel Prize for. And it's a very important technique in developing a lot of nanoparticles, and it's informed how we can make carbon nanotubes and buckets of fullerene and stuff.
So can I just say that means that when flat earthers are doing their colouring, they can actually work stuff out with colouring?
I mean, yeah. Look, serendipity is important in science, right? So we have that, but we have lots of other examples, like the invention of LSD, for better or worse, right? Penicillin. We've got lots of examples over history where the discovery was serendipitous, and you can only achieve that by messing around.
Oh, well, as awesome. I could let you talk all night, AB, but we're finishing in 5 whole minutes.
Oh, that was a short show.
Yeah, 90 minutes. We normally only run for an hour on PubChat. It's normally just a bit of chat, a bit of this, bit of that. But fair play between you and Katz on here, it did really well, and it went for we went for a bit longer. But awesome. We do have one quick thing for you though, AB. Tat, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Play it.
Nice one, son. You'll be an all-star yet. Just remember the 5 D's of dodgeball: dodge, duck, dip, dive, and
That's where
Brilliant.
Spurs learned his debating technique from.
Fantastic.
Well, before we finish up, I do have a little surprise for Katz and for the chat. So, Taddy, if you want to pull that up.
Oh, hey, look at that.
So, yeah, on the left hand side, you see Space Comma when he was first named, and he was about a week old in that. Now he's 3.5 months. So the photo on the right was taken about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Aww. So you can see how big he's getting.
And he's still got that little mark on his chest, and he's still because his black has turned into more of a brown now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually 3 shades of brown, and then he has the black on his spine, and you'll see the black on his spine, and it's a different camera angle, but yes, he definitely does have that clear little space comma on his side, and I can't believe how perfectly named he was. So it's a little bit of a treat for the chat that always asks how he's doing. So. And it's great for you to see them side by side, how he began and how he is now. So,
oh bless, yeah, that's amazing. That absolutely fantastic. Anyone,
love it. So that's Krafty, that's AB. Bull, how have you enjoyed tonight?
I really have. Sorry, I'm setting up the other show, so I'm hearing myself.
That's right. Yeah. For anyone who's missed out, in about 2.5 hours now, there'll be another chance to watch PubChat with Dick, Dawson, Bull, and everyone else who's been on that. I'm not sure 100% who's on it tonight, but Dick will definitely be there. Aimee will be there. Bull will be there. And who else? I don't know. Someone will know.
OPT lawyer.
OPT lawyer. That was it. I couldn't remember. Thank you very much, Bull. Tatty, you little bar monkey, have you enjoyed this evening?
I have indeed, Barman. I have indeed, and I would just like to say that delivery of empty whiskey bottles has arrived and been packed away.
Good, good. Also, are you going to pay your bar tab tonight, mate?
Yeah, Keelah was going to talk to you about that. Was that the time? Shit, I need to go.
Oh,
See you,
and Aimee was going to sort that out. And
God's
speaking of Aimee, guys in the chat, make sure you go back and watch the Autism Show because it's amazing. Last night's episode
Absolutely.
was absolutely fantastic.
Autism
Absolutely,
show
man.
is awesome.
Definitely.
Well,
And before we go, Barman, before
we're
I
not going
actually
yet.
I know, but before I do bugger off, can I just say a happy birthday to the spawn of Tatty?
Oh, to the spawn of Tatty.
Woohoo! Happy birthday!
Yay.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to that. Yay, round of applause. We do have one that's going to help with Tatty's bar tab, though, from the Snark for €5. Oh, yeah, there's a super chat to be read by the Snark. Thank you very much for that one. And then our main guest of this evening, Agree to Disagree, Baldy Catz, Conspiracy Cats. He's got so many names, but so little hair. Have you enjoyed yourself tonight? He's muted himself and broke it, hasn't he?
He's speechless.
He's speechless.
We've left him speechless.
box.
He may have, yes.
Oh, sorry.
He forgets to unmute. He forgets to unmute. He's famous for it.
I've got a mute button on my microphone, and I've been using that. I didn't realize I mute myself on the thing. What I said was so profound as well. It was so profound.
It always is. It always is. We lose out on so much knowledge, Cats.
It's just like, oh, it's such a travesty. No, I've had a great time, and I just want to thank you for your performance last night, which was outstanding, and AB Science tonight, yours was as well. But yeah, I've had a great time, and you know what, I should come on with you guys more often because I always enjoy it when I'm on here. It's always laid back. It's great fun. So hit me up anytime. I'll be glad to be back.
You're always welcome. If you're ever free on a Friday at stupid o'clock in the morning for us times, or Saturday at 11 o'clock our time, or Thursdays for this pub chat, Sundays for poker, you're more than welcome to come on any of them. Sunday poker's good because it starts at 9 o'clock. It finishes at 11. Sorry, it starts at 8 o'clock.
I'm hoping to do a live stream on Sunday afternoon on my channel if you're around, Cats.
Cool. Yeah. I think I am actually.
Nice. Well, I'm going to read one last comment and then we're going to hit the button because I think we've talked to everyone. And it's from Clive Wells and it's hashtag stop censoring conspiracy cats. I reckon the flat earthers have got into it, everything. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. Field Jesus and you need new things for next time you're in chat. Otherwise, we're just going to take the mic. Yeah, you've all been awesome. It's been a great show. Tatty, I think we can hit the button of doom because my wife's just giving me the evil eye. You said you were coming to bed at 11. I was like, oh, no.
Ooh, dog howl.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Button of doom coming up, Squire.
Bye.
See you.
Good night, everyone. Ooh.